Have you ever been hit with feedback that requires major changes to your work? It can feel like a punch in the gut, can't it? We've all been there, navigating the choppy seas of revision and rework. Yet amidst this turmoil, there's a beacon of hope. We're about to unveil a secret weapon, a tool that top professionals use to not just weather the storm, but come out sailing smoother than ever. But what if we told you there's a proven method to not just survive, but thrive through such feedback? Now let's address the elephant in the room, the misconceptions about feedback. Often, feedback is viewed as a personal attack, a sign that we've failed, but let's debunk this myth right away. Feedback is not a personal assault, nor is it an indication of failure. It's merely a tool for improvement, a way to refine our work and make it better. Think of it like this. When you're sculpting a masterpiece, you chip away at the rough edges, smoothing and perfecting as you go. That's what feedback does. It helps identify the rough edges in our work, not to belittle or demean us, but to help us create a better product. Another common misconception is that feedback is always negative. Not so. Feedback can be positive, negative, or neutral. It's about providing helpful insights to improve, not just pointing out what's wrong. Feedback is not a critique of you as a person, but an opportunity to improve your work. Now, onto the star of the show, the most effective tool for handling feedback that requires major changes: the feedback loop. Imagine this not as a daunting challenge, but as a systematic and transformative process. Let's break it down. First up, we have receiving. This is where you open yourself up to feedback without defensiveness or prejudice. It's all about active listening and taking notes. Remember, this isn't about you personally, it's about refining your work. Next, we move into understanding. This is where you clarify any ambiguities and ensure you fully comprehend the feedback. Don't hesitate to ask questions. It's better to ask now than to misinterpret and veer off course later. The third step is acting. This is where you implement the changes suggested in the feedback. Be strategic, prioritize, and remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. It's about progress, not perfection. Lastly, we have following up. After you've made the changes, go back to the person who gave you the feedback. Show them how you've incorporated their suggestions and ask if there's anything else you can improve. Not only does this demonstrate your commitment to growth, but it also fosters a culture of open communication. By implementing the feedback loop, you can turn even the most daunting feedback into a catalyst for growth. So next time you're faced with major changes, remember the feedback loop and step into the challenge with confidence. So how does this work in the real world, and what's in it for you? Imagine you're a graphic designer and you've just received feedback from a client suggesting significant changes to your work. Instead of feeling frustrated or defensive, you engage the feedback loop. You acknowledge the feedback, understand it, and then act. You tweak your design according to the client's perspective, and voila, your revised design is uploaded, creating a stronger bond with your client. Or picture yourself as a project manager. A team member has just offered feedback on how you could improve the project's workflow. You follow the feedback loop, making the recommended changes. Suddenly, the project is running more smoothly, and your team is more engaged and productive. But the benefits extend beyond just improved work quality. The feedback loop can also enhance your relationships. By welcoming and acting on feedback, you show others that you value their perspectives. This builds trust and encourages open communication, fostering stronger, more collaborative relationships. And let's not forget about personal growth. By routinely using the feedback loop to handle feedback, you're constantly learning and refining your skills. You become more adaptable, more resilient, and ultimately more successful in your career. With the feedback loop, you can turn feedback into your secret weapon for success. Now that you're equipped with this powerful tool, what's next? It's time to implement the feedback loop in your own life. See how it transforms your approach to feedback and catalyzes your growth. Don't forget to share your experiences, your triumphs, and the lessons learned. Hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, and explore our other content to continue this journey of self-improvement. Remember, every piece of feedback is a stepping stone to success. So, are you ready to step up?